Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. This is the first official vlog of winter. I'm a little behind the date because as soon as I put this out, then it's going to be 2018, and I'm only going to have one official vlog of winter from 2017. My bad, I'm sorry about that. So, a couple things. Whoops, I'm pressing buttons here. Bought myself a Nintendo Switch. I'll do a short little review on that in this video. But you know you're turning an adult when you get more amped up for Christmas because you got a George Foreman grill. Am I right? So, lose the fat, both in the food and on me, so I'm going to live healthy now. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to get some nice little grilled burgers, both chicken and beef going through there. Actually, chicken sandwiches on there would be amazing, not going to lie. Also found on the back of the box that they showed a picture for a quesadilla type thing, and I love Mexican style food, so quesadillas are a must. And on top of that, I also got a bunch of Disney Blu-rays, so for New Year's we're just going to be going through a whole bunch of Disney Blu-rays as well as Disney vlogs here on YouTube. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. What did you guys get? Leave comments below, share. I like hearing what everyone got, how happy people were. Hopefully no one was sad. I don't like hearing about sad stories on Christmas. I hope that we're all good. Hope you guys were all good and safe and staying out of harm and staying safe in the weather. And 'cause I know the Philippines were getting hit. The East Coast was getting slammed with weather. So I hope the weather was great where you guys are. And yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to do was do something a little more artsy-craftsy where you could easily do it at home. So what I did was glued a whole bunch of popsicle sticks together, just the thin popsicle sticks. And then on the reverse side, the side that you're actually going to do the art on, I went over it with a primer. Just a basic white paint just to give it a good coat of primer, something to stick to. Then, what you're going to want to do is go over it with, what I did was spray paint. You could do it with a regular acrylic paint, but I did this with a gloss paint. Now what I did to get this kind of speckled effect on here is there's actually three different colors. First is your base color. For this one, it's a little lighter in the camera, but it's actually red. It's a kind of a dark red. I went over the whole thing with red, and then I chose a secondary color of black. I did it in small bursts. You start off from the edge, hold the can on the edge, and just go over it a whole bunch of times with little bursts. You don't want to do it with a constant stream. It'll ruin the painting or the artwork. And then after all of that dried, I then went over it with a you could either do this with a toothbrush, a used toothbrush, just by putting some paint on it and then getting your hands a little dirty, but going like this on the paintbrush and leaving the speckle effect. So then after you do that, what you do is you get the silhouette of any character or any object or whatever that you want on it, and you put the silhouette on it. For this one I chose Wolverine. It's really simple. I did a yellow and black speckle background to it to kind of emphasize his colors, and then I did the silhouette of Wolverine. What I want to do over time is get a big mural of them all done and together. So I found it pretty cool, pretty interesting, and something you can do right at home. You see that? Okay, so I mentioned yesterday that I was getting the stuff ready for the paintings. Today is the 3rd. I was planning on having these done a day or two ago, but I wanted to make sure I got everything ready beforehand. Right now we're looking at a cloudy 12 degrees Fahrenheit, and with the wind chill it feels like -7 out, so it's pretty freaking cold here. Let's see if I can get that in there. That's cold. Okay, so I have a couple pictures here. This painting I kind of messed up on some of the gesso, but that's fine. It's going to get painted over anyway. I don't know if you can see the outline of it, but it's Sorcerer Mickey, whereas this one is Stitch. So my plan is to, each one is going to have a different feel to it. This one's going to be more of a galaxy feel. This one's going to be more of an ocean feel. But I want to spray paint the insides of them. The pictures themselves aren't going to be as big. That's just an outline. just to give me a conservative amount to play with. So yeah, let's get spray painting. And you always need proper ventilation, so we're going to have the doors open on this very cold day. And it's obviously better to do this with warmer conditions just so the stuff actually dries quicker. So doing that with the spray paint outside in the garage is basically one of the main reasons why I want to get my own studio down the road, just so I can have my own dedicated space to doing stuff like that. Just trying to warm up my hands now. But yeah, doing that out in the cold like that, not the brightest thing to do. If you're doing any kind of spray paint, you need a good ventilation system. That's like key. That's the number one thing. Besides having it not cold. I mean, it's going to take a while for that stuff to dry now, but yeah, a good ventilation system. I had some good airflow going through, but even then it was still potent. So good ventilation if you're ever doing anything with spray paint. Right, so as you can see, I got a silhouette down. The silhouette was actually what I was doing yesterday. If you go into paint, you can edit it. You can probably do it in a bunch of printing softwares, but the thing I had to do with this was to get the silhouette to the size I wanted to. I had to open the picture in paint, go to print properties, and print it in a bigger scale. So it actually printed the picture on 4 separate sheets. I did a lot of the cutting out, and then I taped them together, and I got my silhouette. So now that I got the back spray painted, I put the silhouette on it. I'm now going to trace the area around it very carefully, or I could just start using paint right away just to save myself the time. I may actually just start doing that. But yeah, I'm going to get to either tracing or painting, and we'll see how it looks afterwards. Alright, so back to my least favorite part of spray painting right now. In the garage again. So I went and spray painted the pictures as you saw before. It was a tedious process, but I went around the trim of the pictures with a very fine paintbrush. Did multiple coats, did probably about 3 or 4 coats, I would probably say 4 coats of white around them, just to make them look neater and make the images themselves pop out. But I'm not done yet, and I want to show you what they are before I move on to the next step. Okay, so as you can see, I got the Sorcerer Mickey on the right, and I got Stitch on the left. Now, as of right now, they look totally fine. If you want to go with a more minimalistic look, totally go with just this and put some sort of a glaze over it. I got Mod Podge to go over mine. You can go to any art store and pick up a sealant to put over it. Make sure it dries clear, and you're good. But I'm not done with these, and I want to show you what I'm going to do next. Alright, so this next part can actually get a tad messy. What you want to do is douse the end of a brush or an old toothbrush that you're not using, some kind of a brush, and you're going to want to flick. I'm just using a popsicle stick to flick it, but you want to make sure that you flick the stuff away from you, because this one can get kind of messy. So I'm just going to go through and put this on it, and we'll see how the outcome looks. Okay, so as you can see with the Stitch paint, I didn't want to overdo it with the speckles because I didn't want it to take away from the actual Stitch itself. But I like the look it gives it. Yeah, very happy with it. I really don't know what else to say about it. This was the first technique. I actually did 2 techniques. This one was just putting spray paint on the end of a brush and flicking it onto the artwork. This is fine. I love it. Like I said before, I don't want to change anything about it. I love the mark here. It gives it more of an artistic look. I love it. So I'm just going to sign my name at the bottom, or I'm going to let this dry first, then I'm going to sign my name at the bottom, and I will put a glaze over this, the Mod Podge over this, and this one will be done. Okay, so with the Mickey painting, because of who this is going to, it didn't give the same effect, and I'm totally okay with that, because I know the person this is going to, and I think they're going to like it just this way. This one was actually done with purple paint, like a violet paint, and a paintbrush. Just holding my hand out like this and then tapping the brush against my finger. That gave a more loose effect. Actually, in some spots it looks like it kind of congregated in one area, or in certain areas. But I like this effect for this painting and for the person this is going to. So this one works out over just fine. But yeah, those were the two techniques that I used. Overall, I like the paintbrush one more, with the paint and not with the spray paint. Just because I feel like you will have a little bit more control, and I don't know why. And the regular paint is easier to work with. So I'm just going to let this one dry over. I will sign my name on it, put the Mod Podge over it, and we'll call this one done. So it is now sometime around 5:30. I'm starving, and it's been my 2-week vacation. Oh, there's deer back there. Okay. And I haven't done anything about getting out of the house and actually, well, I've gotten out of the house. I've done some shopping here and there and just driving around, but haven't done anything with treating myself to a nice dinner. I'm gonna go for some authentic Mexican cuisine and stop at Taco Bell. Okay, so I had Taco Bell. This is actually like a day after, or a day or two after that. So Taco Bell, fantastic. Learned everything on my car is frozen, so that was fun to handle. But anyway, I'm shooting in front of this wall. It's because I'm working on a art piece that's gonna go here. Not sure when it's gonna be finished. I'm still throwing around ideas, but this will probably be where I'm gonna be filming some of my videos from going forward. So you won't be seeing a blank wall for too much longer. Those pictures are done. Stitch, Sorcerer Mickey, they're done. But I wanted to talk to you about something, and I am going to be talking about the Switch, or the review of the Switch like I mentioned in the beginning of the film, but that's going to be going in the next video because I don't want to take up too much more time in this one, when this one's dedicated strictly to art at this point. So, when I'm learning from vlogging, and when I'm learning from this past video, or from this actual video that I'm in now, I'm learning a couple things. One, having a dedicated area would be amazing. If it's like a 12 by 12 office, minimum, I could just set it up for art and be happy. It was a pain in the butt to have to, I think the reason it took so long in the first place was because I had to drag all the stuff from my bedroom all the way downstairs into the garage to do the spray painting, and then I had to drag it all the way back up, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have cans of spray paint and paintings and you're trying to work with them and you're hustling up and downstairs, it's annoying to say the least. But I'm learning from doing the vlogging and from this video that it's a little bit of a journey of self-discovery. Mind you, this November of 2018, I'm going to be turning 30, and it took me up until now, or the past year, to find my art style. The more I do stuff like this, the more I realize what that art style is, and I thoroughly love doing this kind of stuff. My art style is growing. I'm going to be getting more complex with the stuff, and I think that's what bums a lot of people out, is they try to get into art and they may not be too good at it, and they kind of get discouraged and they kind of fall away, when what they should be doing is, or they should have somebody telling them, just because you're not good at one style of art doesn't mean you're not good at a completely different style of art. And I think a lot of people would stay in art if they were only told that and they were shown that there are thousands of different types of art. This is one type of art that I did that this is my first time doing this kind of stuff. I've never done it before. The more times I do it, I'm going to get better at it. It's going to look better. I'm pumped. The thing I learned from this video in particular was more or less how I felt about myself. And I know to my friends and my family, I'm loved. I know that. I'm a good guy. I get all that. But for me, myself, I feel like I'm actually worth something when I'm doing art. Especially with this stuff, I felt so happy and joyful about it. I felt like I was worth something again. And I haven't felt that way in a long time because of how work was, and you need to find your happy place. For me, it's art. Ooh, camera's going all over the place. It used to be gaming for me, but gaming over time has become much more toxic, and I'm actually falling, that's why I stick with single players, because I absolutely hate multiplayer. It's such a toxic environment. it can start off really well, but then it goes toxic, and I think that kind of hurts it over time. So me getting back into art was kind of like me finding that happiness all over again. And I kind of want to just stick with art now to the point where, and I'm going to talk about this in another video, I just want to give you a heads up, I want to go forward with art. So I will touch on this down the road. That was a mix of touch and talk, both of which are acceptable in that one. I will do one of them in a later video, and I will also review the Switch, which I had a good amount of time to play with up to this point. So we'll see you next time. Take care, and I hope you liked the video. Make sure to leave a like below and share this video with all of your friends and family. Ooh, my hat. And I will see you guys later next time. Take care.